Hi, this is the fourth episode of the gojennPlannercast, where I talk about my Foxy Fix Faux Midori planner. I'm participating in several challenges on YouTube and Facebook. One Book July, Lister's Got a List, and I'm in the Midori Traveler's Notebook group on Facebook too. I have rearranged the inserts inside of my cover this week, and it's made life a lot easier. I had my calendar insert, which is an 18-month calendar from July of 15 through December of 2016. I did have that in the center of the book and thought it would make the book more balanced that way, but I was wrong. I've got my journal insert, and then my Lister's Got a List insert, and then the planner on the bottom, and it is really working just great that way. I tried something this week with an insert that I'd gotten from the yellow paper house Etsy shop. It's a book review journal, and I wanted to, it just had the, you see on the left, it just had the brown manila covered cover on that. So I took a piece of scrapbook paper and glued it on with glue stick, cut it and trimmed it, and now it is just gorgeous. I am really proud of that, and I will be doing that on all of my plain inserts, because that's just, it took no time at all. And I do have a field note size journal, so it didn't, well, it did take half of the sheet of scrapbook paper, so that's just, but boy, and it looks so fancy. Ooh. This is where I left you in my journal last episode. I have been having a good time with my journal, and I think getting into the listing has made me even want to list more, because I find myself just making lists. Like this day, I made a list of things that make me happy, and most of it was my journaling things. And if you noticed, I had used the bear stamp on the other page. It bled through really badly, so I took some of the masking stickers, which is like a thick washi, and used that to cover that up. And I'm trying to really get into the Zentangling even more, and trying to make that work for me, and trying to use it as much as I can. More journaling, more Zentangling. This week on the 22nd, it was the third adoptiversary that we got our two Maltese rescues. And so that's Bella in the front, and then my husband has Lucky. And so I wanted to make sure I included that in the journal. So I have a page talking about how great they are. And then, remember back in school when you got caught with gum or something and they make you write it 100 times? I've decided I really want to work at home and not have to go to my current job, so I'm trying to manifest that and hope the universe hears me. So I'm going to write it 1,000,000 times and say it 1,000,000 times until the universe follows through. More journaling, more trying out new Zentangles. And then I got to Friday and decided I would, since my weekends are so, they're my only real time for myself, I have separate lists for those days. So I really wanted to celebrate my page there. It's the weekend, and it really is cause for celebration. Especially I had Friday off, and I had 3-day weekend. Yay! Something else I found with my Zentangling, there's an app that's free in the App Store. It's called Doodle Patterns, and what you do is you go and they have a big blank picture, and you claim, and none of this costs any money, so it's all free. You claim a square and promise that you will fill it in with your doodling, and then you will upload it within a day or two. So I did that and uploaded my Zentangle back to the picture where other people had claimed squares. I don't know if that makes any sense, but you can go look at the app. It's free. And it was kind of intimidating because this was my first time, and I'm just really learning, so I didn't know if it was going to be of suitable quality for people. They would say, oh, go practice some more and then come back, but I hadn't gotten any dirty messages yet. But so anyway, I have done that, and of course I wanted to include that in my journal, so I have stuck that in there with washi tape and folded it up, and it'll go in. It will live in my journal there. See, here's another extra list I did. I was so happy with everything I got accomplished on Saturday that I had to make a special list. And you can see that my little square just folds right up, and it's all taped in there. How cool is that? Okay, this is my Lister's Got a List insert, and I'm having just a wonderful time with that. It makes you think. It gives you a jumping off point if you want to journal about something, and it makes you think. So like the prompts here was how technology makes me happy, and then what I love about my generation. It's just, I just love it. Favorite places to shop. I don't like to shop, so that helps. My retirement plans. And you can see that I'm really trying to incorporate my Zentangling very organically. And that page particularly really makes me happy, the way I got those little swirly things, like water droplets or whatever, to fit in. If I had a time machine. Life lessons. They were good prompts. And the life lessons, I printed those out on the printer and then just glued them into my journal. Movies that made me cry. I woke my daughter, my older daughter, up. I was crying so hard at Saving Private Ryan. So I can really get the boohoo going. My dream craft space, and I kind of have that now. I don't want to jinx myself, but it's a corner of my bedroom that is mine. I've got light, I've got quiet, I've got place for my dogs nearby, and I've got a spot for pretty much everything that I keep adding to my to my stash. I'm a knitter and crocheter, so that I've got yarn, crochet hooks, knitting needles, all that good stuff. So I think it's really important that you've got a place to be comfortable when you're trying to create. So that was a good prompt, I thought, that day. Okay, and now this is part of my calendar planner. This is the month on a page. So this is July on the left and August on the right. I don't understand the bullet journal thing of writing the days down. But that's just me. The calendar works just fine. And so in the front of the calendar insert, I've got months on a page, and then I have the weeks on 1 week on 2 pages. And the left side is day by day, and the right side I try to do kind of a brain dump, bullet list, bullet journal kind of for the week. And I have enjoyed having my little printed out, my little computer printed out checklist of things that I try to check every day, and that I don't know, I guess I'm never going to grow up, because that never ceases to encourage me to do something, because I can be sitting here thinking, well, I'm ready to go to bed, I'm just going to go to bed. And I'll tell myself, well, if you get up and go take your medicine, you can check that box off. Okay, that's, if I can get a check, I can get a check box done. That's worth it for me. Yeah, all right. But it really does work. It's like the gold star thing. So here's next week, ready to go. I've got my little checklist ready up there and having fun. I've moved it around. I already put some washi tape on the page to get that ready. This is something that's been on my list of things to do, and that was to do a watercolor test in my insert. This is one of my regular inserts, and I took a page near the back and wrote with my Sakura micron pen, with my friction rollerball pens, and a Papermate Ink Joy. That's one of the, it's got 4 colors in the same pen, they're basically ballpoint ink. So you'll see the micron and the Papermate weren't even affected at all by the watercolor, but the watercolor just washed the friction away, which they're erasable anyway, so it's not like you expect that to be permanent, so it makes sense. And then I had fun with watercolors down at the bottom, and then after it was dry from watercoloring, I went back with my pens, and that made me happier than it had any cause to be, because it just thrilled me to no end. The little kid in me got to play with the paints, and I had just a ball. So, and I was pleased. I had a cardboard behind this so that it wouldn't, just be on the next page in my journal. So I had, cardboard behind it, and there's very little bleed through to the other side of the page. The bleed through is more of the ink pens that I used on the paper that had already been thinned by the watercolors, if that makes sense. So that just truly, that really made me happy. So that's my journal, all nice and closed up again. I hope you enjoyed my little flip through. I plan to continue doing these. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, or you can find me on the Facebook groups, or Ravelry, Instagram, and YouTube. I am Gojenn, Gojenn. So that's me for this week, and I hope to see you next week. Thanks.